I might get a hat and a shirt. We're going to place in the Y. And we're going to head towards Front Royal, and once we get to Front Royal, there's a second Y that's going through Versailles and come back.
We're actually going to back over the Shenandoah River.
Really?
Yeah. Because on one end of the Y is the bridge.
Oh, that'll be cool.
I don't know if we will be that far, but back of the train will be over the Shenandoah River. I don't know how far back we're going to have the train. 611 probably isn't going to make it over the river. We might be far enough back to.
Maybe.
I have the other ones, but I don't like changing it off because the dirt you get on the camera. So I'm going to basically
Just this thing outside.
I didn't even snap.
Did anyone else see the Kansas move yet? Yesterday afternoon?
As far as the...
Well, no, with the SD40s.
No, I didn't stay around for that long.
Yeah, they had the 3 SD40s pulling the Kansas all the way up to the station and then back. The last time you saw 3 SD40s pulling a passenger train on the NS was probably back in '92, Saluda.
There's some people over there that crossing.
See, this is what I meant when I said you're going to see a lot of people taking... I wish I could be out there.
Yeah, I was right over there at that crossing yesterday.
Where you want to go? The car is over.
You can hear it just a bit. Can't. She's working hard.
No doubt about it. Must be a little bit of wet rail left from last night's rain.
I don't think she ever pulled trains this long in her career.
I don't think the N&W had a 20-car train.
Yeah.
If they did, they
They
probably
had the-
worked in cooperation with Southern. They'd probably pull like trains like the Tallahassee or Tennessee.
Tennessean wasn't 20.
No, not
Okay.
20, but something around the lines of maybe 12 or so.
Yeah, but this is 20.
Yeah.
Dome cars weigh an awful lot more than a regular car, too.
Right. And she never held. The first time she hauled a dome car in her career was last year. Because the last steam program didn't have domes.
Actually, at that point in time, this car was still running an Amtrak service.
Mm-hmm. A lot of domes were.
Okay. Until they got that second order of superliners fully delivered, I think they had quite a few still.
Yeah.
Not until like the early 90s.
And then they had the 3 long domes, the 3 Great Northern big domes left. And then they sold 2 of them, and they're down to 1. And they're keeping, and they keep that.
The Adirondacks, don't they?
They keep it on the Adirondack in the fall, comes down to the Cardinal in the fall.
It has ended up on the
It goes up.
Illini and the Saluki once in pretty recent memory.
In December, they run it on Lincoln Service and Illini Saluki. They often will run it on that for axle count.
Yeah, CN has weird rules about that.
Which is
also
why
we end up with 3 cafes.
Or Heritage. It's also why Heritage baggage cars are still on the roster. There we go.
Both the Illini and the Saluki with those, though.
Oh, they'll put Heritage baggage on those.
Oh, nice. Around the curve.
Wish I hadn't put my camera away. There's the J. Pickney Henderson. That's the one I was telling you I saw at Denver Union Station the other day.
Oh yeah. Was it there? Was it that?
Yeah.
No, where's my wife?
It's that red car.
Yeah. They got that out here quickly.
Close to the gas glass. And that's really strict. No.
How are we doing now?
I think that red or is that the let's see.
Looks like about 27-ish.
28.
Yeah, we got a speedometer right here actually in the car.
Oh really?
What am I doing?
Huh. I didn't even notice that. I thought that was some pressure gauge or something.
Yeah.
30, 32.
Notice how high that speedometer goes.
I know. I don't think we're gonna get there.
This car isn't qualified to
No.
120.
I don't think this car's ever run that fast in its life. 100 maybe.
Maybe the Northern Pacific wasn't exactly touted for high speeds.
But the Burlington was. And the Burlington carried the North Coast Limited between Chicago and Minneapolis.
I mean, you always
This
notice
car should
that
be on the
CB&Q on the
765 track,
side.
so it'll be right on home rails.
It will be.
It will be?
Mhm.
Ah, cool.
This actually isn't a Northern Pacific car, it's a CB&Q.
That's right. This was one of their pool cars.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 558? Which one is this?
This actually was originally a coach, a dome
Right.
coach,
It was rebuilt.
into a dome lounge, a dome parlor, dome sleeper, I think.
Yeah, there's an apartment under here and some up there too. Rooms.
Surprised they didn't rent those out.
I think they
There
did.
she goes.
42.
It's pretty good for this.
Yep, we're over 40.
43.
And what did I say about them doing track speed on this?
But yeah, they dropped the 41.
What is track speed here?
I think 50.
Yeah.
Probably isn't braking, or probably just because she's about to go for 30 years. So the reason why we're slowing down a bit.
Hold on, they've got a milepost guide. Yeah.
Yeah, we're passing the Vulcan line here.
This is, every time they mention 2156, they say it's on loan from the St. Louis Transportation Museum.
But we all know they want to keep it.
Not want to keep it, are keeping it. That's the worst kept secret in preservation right now, is that 2156 is not going back to St. Louis.
How are they going to manage that?
Remember that FTV they sent over?
Yeah.
It's staying in St. Louis and being restored to operation with 103. This is what I heard.
Oh, interesting. Run FTs.
Mm-hmm.
Will 103 be operable then too? Because 103 is complete. That B though was just a heater car. That B didn't have guts. They're gonna pop something out of some other Jeep or something, fill it up.
I don't know. There are plenty of 567s out there.
Not with belt operated like fans and stuff though. That stuff's gonna be hard to replicate or replace.
Probably won't be authentic then.
Take mine.
Is that Koi?
I don't know. Might be a mine. Probably coal.
Oh yeah, it looks like coal.
Asphalt, I'm betting. Vulcan is, yeah, Vulcan's more for like paving roads and stuff. They're not a coal company.
It's a big one.
Oh, we'll get it coming back the other way. I'm thinking that would have been a good spot to get a photo of this
Yeah.
back over on that road. But I don't see anyone there. I'm
Like I
guessing
said,
it's private property.
I envy you for being able to get photos at all.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with just getting just photos anywhere is that you can't be just walking in places where you know you're not supposed to be.
That's the thing, though. Any Vulcan mine employee, that would be the place to go.
Yeah.
That road. That road right there.
Well, that road, yeah. I'm just saying any other place that just might seem too enclosed in general.
I'm surprised there's no one on that bridge.
Yeah, I thought there'd be somebody.
Besides gonna get
Probably no place to stand.
right now. I think it's gonna curve the other way. See ya.
You got your camera, G?
That road is.
Just people up here at the crossing.
Sorry about that noise it makes when it turns on.
Don't forget your map.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to replace my stock.
Yeah, we're working hard now.
I think we're going up grade.
Oh, another nice curve. All right.
Yeah, that's not a chance for me.
But it's beautiful out here, too.
Oh, yeah. Scenery.
Yeah, the cows are just like, whatever.
When I rode the San Luis Rio Grande in southern
Come back the other
Colorado,
way.
we were on our way back, and there was a cow field right next to the track. And when the train came by, those cows just went crazy. They were bucking their heads. They were going all around. They really liked that train.
My first experience with 611 was down in Shawsville, Virginia. And there were these cows on the hillside. She was coming up Christiansburg Mountain. And for a while we could hear her, and the cows were just standing there. She got louder and louder last year, and louder. And then the cow just took off as she came around the curve. It was a Friday with after the rains, wet rails. She was working as hard as she's ever worked up that grade.
Not very far is that way, 6 cars. So it's a little bit of a trek that you got to do, okay? Girls do touch each other. How's that? These are just to save you from having to pull out your ticket to show somebody that you're okay to, you can go to the commissary car and you come back this way, and I need 3 more. There's one for here and one for here. You're right back.
You can use it.
Sir? Gift shop, 6 cars that way. And they sell t-shirts and buttons and hats and that kind of thing.
I'll probably go on the way that.
And you're welcome to go that way, and this, let me get back here without having to show you tickets, okay? Like I said, I also got good snack food there, but if you're buying one now, you tell me I'm not doing my job. I need you to buy any snack.
I love going on a train with tall trees hugging close to the rails like this. Like through the forest.
I mean, I'm a fan of tall trees as well, but when they block my view of the locomotive, oh my goodness.
Right. But I mean, like, just in general. One of my favorite runs was when I was on the Canadian. We're just, every day was something different. First day, it was woods and woods and woods and a lake occasionally.
Did you get your tickets online?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, it's so green out here. It's brown where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have the green.
Suggestions and what we saw is the executive director of the museum is very welcoming of suggestions. That's one of the suggestions is we've got these cars put closer to the front as opposed to the rear. So make a suggestion if you want the train running.
You know it's going to be on this side, and then we're passing very quickly. So
Midnight train to Georgia last night.
Yeah.
Dating myself. You probably never heard of that as 95th, right?
I know who they are. I saw her one time.
But anyway, make a suggestion, and I can't say it'll happen, but it's got to put the bug in his ear, it ain't gonna hurt. That's right. So welcome. I'm glad y'all came. And if I can do anything to make you feel better,
And one of the things I'm probably going to suggest to Bev is fall trips. Maybe not this year, but
Maybe next year.
yeah. This is where I was yesterday.
you take cream and sugar. Black.
Yeah, back up by that road. I think we're about halfway to Fort Royal now. Because that's Marshall over there.
Yeah, maybe like just past Marshall. The next town should be Rectortown, I think.
Yeah, Rectortown.
Then Delafield.
Yeah.
However you pronounce it.
But we're coming into the mountains now.
Oh yeah, look, you can see it.
This line has a 1.7% grade on it.
I think so. About.
Anybody need anything up here?
I think we're fine.
Drink, eat.
I think we're fine for now. The rain is starting to come down.
Oh, good thing we're not outside rail fanning.
Yesterday was the day to chase.
Yeah.
Today, that second trip. That second trip's good. Not in a good way.
Downpour, I take it.
Thunderstorms.
You know it's thunder in the mountains. Why not? Why not?
I know. Mountain Thunder was 734 on the west.
I'm just saying. I'm not talking about 734. I'm just saying, like as a gimmick for
Yeah.
videotaping 611 thundering through while thunderstorms are going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not 734 will even run after. Well, I know she's got the overhaul come if they do the overhaul, because right now they're still focusing on that 1309.
1309. Is it 1309 or 1306?
1309. That's the number from the B&O Museum,
Right.
because they're trying to fix it up and running over there on the Western Maryland Scenic.
The 734 at least is at least in Western Maryland, even though it's in LS&I.
Yeah, it used to come from my place when it used to be there. And then after on we got the 35, which is the only one of the three LSI big consolidations that still has a tender booster. 33 used to have one, but then when it went to Hawkinson Valley Scenic, they took it out because they couldn't fix
So the
it.
734 is 34.
Yeah.
They just added the 7 to put it in the Western Maryland series.
Yeah, they wanted to follow with the Western Maryland H Class, which originally didn't even look like, the only thing, they didn't even look close to what 734 looked like. The ones numbered in 800s, they almost looked better. They look almost identical. So technically that engine should have been numbered 800.
Or 834.
Yeah, but I guess they just didn't find a way to figure that part out. Oh well.
So that's the thing, though. If 734 doesn't run again at Western Maryland, someone else will pick that locomotive up.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, then again, they're technically leasing the 1309 from the P&O. There's an agreement between the two where it's a lease where they're running it until for some time. Again, I don't know. I think if I remember correctly.
How's that 1630 doing after pulling 135 coal haulers?
Still doing fine. I mean, she wasn't even being used that much to pull those cars out. Then again, those are empty hoppers with roller bearings, so you're not really going to get much work out of them.
Wait, 135 coal hoppers?
Yeah.
Empty?
I tell you damn straight, that's what I'm saying right there. 135, 136 hoppers.
Beating with the tender, though.
Tender first?
Yep.
Well, we don't have the turntable set, the Y setup that's for the...
You have that many coal cars sitting there, or did you take them
Those
off
are all
the
private cars, but we had like more of those stored over the winter for a lease agreement, like where we made like money to store them. We had some of them already sent out. Those were the last of the cars to be sent out of the museum. But they made the occasion for Memorial Day to have 1630 pulling. She could do more than that, that's for sure. But that again, those cars, if they were full, then 1630 would have a problem.
And it's all like, months ago y'all had that on, what do you call that, Burlington?
But what now?
What do you call it?
The SD9?
SD9?
Oh, the SD9, yeah. It's SD24. That's 504. She's an SD24. We do have an SD7, but that's Southern Pacific 1518 now, so the first one ever built. And of course, yeah, we get that extreme amount of diesels because diesels were built in LaGrange, so that's essentially a way of just making things a little more interesting.
I'm trying to convince my dad to go on a road trip to drive us out to Diesel Days this year.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think Diesel Days is a little bit, in my opinion, a little overrated. I mean, they're nice to see them all run at once, but sometimes they're mostly the same things you see, and some of them they just don't look good as they used to be. Because if you ever look at those Burlington executive units, when they came to the museum, they looked perfect. But now they look all rusted up because no one's been trying to keep up with keeping them indoors. And I'm not trying to blame the museum's fault. But, the diesel guys, they can get diesels running. It would be nice to at least get the ones that still run, new coat of paint in that. Like I wouldn't mind just finding a spare SD7 fuel tank for 1518, put it where it used to be, and have her painted in the electromotive division demonstration paint scheme. Just to give us an idea, this is the first one. It was like this before it came here, before it was ever used on Southern Pacific. Catwalks. He derailed yard 13, damaging about 30 plus ties and shearing 2 railheads. And I think he derailed a coach somewhere along the coach department. That and just about anything else that's probably gone on that's probably been him in charge of that, been in that position. How he still manages to hold that position, I have no idea. But the big word is that he likes to make the diesels around like his personal toys. Right now, the guy of the steam department who I work with, supervisor-wise, he's trying to get the idea of getting the museum departments their own diesel switcher, because when they need to move equipment around, because we've been moving stuff in the back of the new barns recently, and the only department that has its own personal switcher is the electric department, and they've been starting to move their equipment into those barns over the past few weeks, but if we had to get it, but all the other departments need to grab one of the switchers from the diesel department, and that's either mostly been Comet 15. It would be easier. If it was easier, it would be easier to have the departments have their own switchers, because then they can be able to move around without having to just grab one in case someone else needed it. Sharing a switcher kind of seems a bit ridiculous when you only got one that works, because the 9255 is down for repairs, and there's a number of them that have to get traction motors done. Well, guess where the drop table is for that to get them out of there? In the back of the steam shop, covered by roof. But to get there, you'd have to pass the 938, which is in the shop right now, the Shay, which is still in pieces and it's not put back together and can't move at all because the front end's still on jacks and the front wheels are still off. and you still got the 428 in the way as well, and another switcher in the back that they gave us that's unfortunately one of those small little grain dog switchers that sadly could have seen better days. And I was fixing it last year, trying to get it running again, in case we ever had to start it up and needed to move 428 or anything of that sort. But the way that guy is, I'm surprised that they still keep him around.
Oh, sorry.
But here am I, I'm just mouthing off here.
Probably connections.
Well, being in the museum and knowing how things work around there, and I'm still trying to get my hands on doing more hands-on operations like hand singles and trying to get more practice in, but
Hey Mario, how you doing?
it's just madness when they have someone like him running around places. And he doesn't even ask when he switches our equipment. If he has to move any of our engines, he doesn't ask any of us. And we don't have time to grease the locomotives or get them ready to be moved. And some of those engines, you know, there may be someday we want to fix them. You know, heck, there's like that old one of those engines from Moni we got a few years ago.
You guys doing good?
That's sadly far beyond the belief that it would be restored if someone was willing to. You know, he moved that last year without even asking Tom or any one of us from the steam shop, and we didn't grease it. And that one we're trying to sell to anyone who wants it because we really don't need it. Even though it's a wood-burning locomotive, it's the only wood-burning locomotive in our collection. Everything else is coal or oil, depending on which engine, depending on which ones we got.
I'll be there shortly.
How you guys, did you get that new twin table installed?
Well, we got it in. It's not installed because we don't have a pit room. Right now the bridge is sitting on sitting on wooden rest. Getting a steam locomotive ready takes time, especially with a consist of 20 cars. On a cold day, on a day when we were on the 1630 cold, it might take us at least 5 to 7 hours to get her steamed up. That's why we usually do a day ahead. But even then, we're working with an engine that's much older than that one in front of us. Mm-hmm. And getting her and getting 1630 ready, it takes time. You know, that's why we have our trains usually leave at noon. But
That's why they never drop the fire in this.
Oh no, because they're going to be running tomorrow anyway. But again, the thing about it is that steam locomotives take time no matter what. You know, no matter how.
Yeah, they're running to Lynchburg tomorrow, I think.
That's the ferry run.
Yeah, and then
Tapers toward the end.
and then cut the coaches off in Lynchburg.
Yeah, they're going to go. Yeah, go to Lynchburg, drop the coaches off. I think they're dropping a few of them that they picked up from there, and then head back to Roanoke.
No, they're going Spencer.
Oh, that will. Briefly through Roanoke to Spencer, because again, well, you think they'd have to stop by the museum?
No, the next event is in Spencer.
Oh yeah,
so they're going straight down. They're not scheduled to appear at a VMT.
These cars are supposed to be going to the 765.
No, that's why I said these cars are being dropped at Lynchburg, and then they're just going to go straight through to Fort Wayne, and then from Fort Wayne, or at least I don't know if every car in this consist is going to 765. 765 may have some cars that aren't on this consist, but all the cars that are going to 765 are going to be, including possibly, I'm wondering what 765 is going to use for its water tender, because 611's holding on to this water tender, I think, for the whole season.
Well, they do have an auxiliary tender at Fort Wayne, but the last time I checked, that tender has been in disrepair for years, and they haven't had around time to fix it. I don't know if they've even been fixing it in the last few years.
Because last year they used this one. I'll tell you this much, it looked really weird seeing a Norfolk and Western aux tender with the Tuscan stripe behind a nickel plate engine.
Well, it wasn't the first time.
I know they've used it when it was still, in the freight colors.
Well, I'm talking about like when they had like the other tenders, when one of the other tenders, the other one that had the Tuscan red, because this wasn't the first one. Mm-hmm. There was another tender painted in the Tuscan red, the Max 611. And of course it was still in that for a few years before it was sold somewhere. I think it was briefly used by, if you look in the older videos, it was behind 587, the nickel plate mic from the Indiana Transportation Museum.
I wonder what's going on with that one.
Last I heard, they pretty much rebuilt a portion of the smoke box, or pretty much rebuilt the whole smoke box after the old one rotted away.
That's why That's why they're building
The pavilion.
the pavilion, so that they can store and maintain it inside.
Oh, we should donate this.
I mean, yeah, they have. Here's one of the things that makes me think that 2156 is not going back to St. Louis. They're building this with 3 stalls.
Yeah. So, if 2156 was to leave, what would be going into the pavilion now? You expect to put like one of that
Especially since I don't think that pavilion's going to be finished in 5 years.
Yeah, because right now
They can't start it until next fall at the earliest.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they can't start it until Amtrak's running.
yeah, because
Until the Amtrak station is done. I also wonder what involvement VMT is going to have with that first Amtrak train into Roanoke.
that is a question. I mean,
One rumor I heard is that is going to be pulling it from Lynchburg. But I highly doubt that. I do not think Amtrak's going to...
well, with 611 running, I think she'd still have to be certified by Amtrak, like they did with 261 and the 1522.
And 765 certified by Amtrak.
Yeah,
4040, 49 certified by Amtrak. 261 certified by Amtrak. I think that 611, they'll want to get it certified by Amtrak anyway. Because in case you can't run on NS anymore, who are you running with? Who's sponsoring your excursion if not Norfolk Southern? It's going to be Amtrak.
Yeah. That probably would explain why they're doing the trips with Metro on that line to Janesville. I mean,
No, they're 765's Amtrak is Amtrak certified because it's Amtrak who's doing the trip to Galesburg.
well, I'm talking about the trip to Janesville.
That's Metra,
That's, yeah.
and the trip to Galesburg is Amtrak. I think they're using. It's said that they're using a diesel for both trips. They're going to have a diesel behind the steamer on both of those trips. So they said an Amtrak diesel to Galesburg. I don't know what they're using going up to Janesville.
Well,
They said run solo to Janesville.
Solo to Janesville?
oh, then actually, that's actually kind of nice. And you actually catch a steam from without diesels on it. That's
Well,
actually what I liked about this train because
London's running this weekend.
Yeah.
They ran without a deep Amtrak. I think they said they gave it a waiver or something. Said something like Amtrak power is too tight or something like that.
But they've got Amtrak. They need the power for this weekend. They don't have spares
Yeah, that's
right
what it is.
now.
Yeah,
So
that's what they said on Trains Magazine.
yeah, that makes me wonder what they're going to use with 765 on the Galesburg trip, or if
Maybe
they'll have a spare by then. If their spare factor will be better by then.
They might give it a waiver later on, maybe. But we try to see.
She doesn't have a generator car right now.
What them generator cars be like the one we call the NS20, like the NS29?
Tennessee up front.
Oh, okay. I think they might be using it in Tennessee.
Tennessee is going to the trip to Janesville,
Oh, okay.
but not on the trip to Galesburg. In fact, none of the NS cars are going on the trip to Galesburg.
I know they're using the Amtrak coaches.
Yeah. And they're using Horizons. So I can tell that because they said open vestibules, and there's only one type of Amtrak equipment that can have open vestibules, and that's Horizons.
I'm pretty much glad they were using Horizons instead of like the Amfleet ones.
Yeah.
That wouldn't even look right.
You know what would have looked even more bizarre? Superliners.
You just have that smoke smacking into the back of that high-level car.
Yeah, it would go right into it.
Yeah.
You'd have the storm door closed. You'd have everything closed. You'd still have cinders and coal smoke getting into the superliners.
I'd say at least they're not using the Metra's bi-levels. I'd hate to imagine seeing a steam engine pull those around.
Just go to Michigan.
Oh yeah, I've seen the footage of 1225 do those to cars.
I like to see people's faces when they see a steam engine down in Chicago.
Oh, there hasn't been a steam engine in Chicago since '09.
Yeah.
Last steam engine to come into Chicago was 4449 Daylight.
765 will be the first few in years. But one thing I'd like to see us do at Union is get one of the engines over there too, over to Chicago. But you've probably heard how people say we like to restore 3007. Well, CB&Q 464 Hudson collection. Some of us like to see it run, but even then, that's another big mouth to feed for our sake.
Also, you getting a steam locomotive out of your museum requires UP to allow you out with a steam locomotive that isn't theirs.
Exactly. The thing, of course, is because 1630, because of her broad tires, she can't go through self-guiding frogs. She would break them, or more likely derail. More likely going to the derailing part. And of course, the shade can't go any faster than 5 or 10 miles an hour, so that's a... But if anything, if 428 gets finished in a reasonable amount of time, she might be a contender because she's a Union Pacific engine, and who knows, the guys in Nebraska or with the steam program out in Cheyenne might have interest in bringing her out to Chicago. She's basically perfect to get into Chicago with the tight curves around. I mean, that's the thing about small locomotives, is that they are easy to get through places that most bigger engines can't get through. I mean, like the Belvedere Sub. The Belvedere Sub, if it was upgraded to mainline standards that could handle a large locomotive like 844 or 3985, we would have had those engines over there years ago when they brought them out. But the Fox River Grove Bridge certainly can't handle a big engine like 844 or 3985. That's why, if a smaller engine like 428 was done, we even had a look at 4963, the sister to 4960. Her firebox is pretty good. If we ever got a chance to get her running, she would be good. Granted, she's CB&Q, but she could still pull just as good amount of a passenger train like 4960 did in the past. Get her running, she'd be even good for our excursions too. It's just a matter of, I think really, what's the best engine for your location? I mean, 3000.
Oh yeah. She's working. She is really working right now.
Yeah,
I think that's a wrap for looking out the front of the dome, though.
Yeah.
Looking at it, because it's not just rain, it's rain and cinders.
Yeah.
It's the rain and cinders mixing together to create a sort of paste
that
covers up.
Another reason why people who are on the afternoon trip are going to be very disappointed when they get up here.
Maybe they'll...
Yeah, you can feel her. You can feel it.
Yeah, it's not a consistent pull.
Right. She's doing her best.
Yeah, I think we're
But
gonna
there's slippery rails here. No, you can feel that she's probably spun a few times.
Yeah.
You can see it in the steam occasionally.
Oh yeah.
It was just a moment ago there.
There we go.
There we go.
Where's the crest on this?
Yeah, we're 5 miles an hour now.
No, we'll make it. We'll make it. If she can make it up Saluda, she can make it up this. Granted,
she can't make it up Saluda anymore.
Yeah, she'd be knocking down a couple trees.
Yeah.
Speedometer just stopped for a minute there.
Don't stall. Please don't stall. This is
Double the grade. Come on.
This is like a 1% grade.
I think 1.7 is one max on this round.
And we probably are on the max right now. We're probably on the ruling grade. Yeah,
If you
we're
look
coming
back at the train, you can see it.
I thought we were coming to a stop there. We definitely are. Like,
It's going to be slow going from here.
yeah. I can't even.
Coaches, take the
Yeah.
first class people.
We paid more. Shop.
Yeah, it's almost impossible now.
As long as you know you saw it, that's good enough.
Oh yeah, I'm just watching her right now.
Didn't you guys get a bunch of Metro Highliners as well?
We did. They're those electric ones. We got like I think 4 or 5 coaches.
The last ones just ran earlier this year, right?
Yeah, those ones. I don't know if those are the ones that did run, or the last ones that run, but we did get those not
Didn't
too
you
long ago.
intentionally get 2 of the St. Louis car and 2 of the one that built the 78 order? Someone else, Bombardier maybe?
I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is that we got those not too long ago.
The first order was. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, unless you climb down, I don't think because of that bridge, I don't think you can see this line, see the train.
Unless you were.
Or unless you're on that island over there, right in the fork.
Or down there.
Yeah, but there's a boat out there. Docked, of course.
Well, maybe if you own a boat, you could get a good picture. But
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be taking a boat from Chicago all the way down the Roanoke, in my opinion. That's too much of a drive.
That's beautiful.
Plus too much insurance on that part anyway.
Oh yeah. Well,
I did not come from rain.
it's not a bad one through the window.
how bad is it supposed to get though?
It won't get bad till like around 5 or 6.
I mean, like, and how long's it supposed to stay bad? Because I'm flying out at 5:30 from Dulles.
They call it like 50% chance now.
All right. And there's I think I should be able to get out
Yeah, probably gonna be like yesterday.
on and off.
Yeah.
They were saying power outages and hail. Hopefully that's farther south and not up by
I think that's
Washington, Baltimore.
They actually had it say it was gonna be as bad, gonna be worse. I think like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Saying like 100% chance now.
Yeah.
Just 50.
It was 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then it dropped down to 80, then 60%.
I mean, really, who knows at this point?
There's a Coleman Tower right here.
What used to be.
See, it's time to get pictures with all these bridge girders. I mean, I'm not complaining considering they're keeping us from falling into the river. But
I do seem to serve a function.
Those people have that house right out there.
we're saying that's the perfect house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got view of the engine over there. You turn around, sir, you can look.
Oh, there she goes.
Yep, I missed it.
Where'd you go?
There, G.
Oh, I can even hear her chuff. That's good.
Yeah.
Looks like the window's clearing up a bit too.
Yeah. Well, it'll dry off as we go.
Oh, give it a little bit. It'll start fogging up again.
So instead of wet cinders, we just have cinders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, instead of rain and wet cinders, we just have wet cinders.
I want to see less of this.
Well, they were wet, and now that they've dried,
They're
stuck
stuck.
to the window.
And that's blank 611 was good by us over. Thank you, Mr. Blank. Have a good day, over.
I think it's prevalent in America. Malaysia will let you do anything as long as you fly with them. Take your life in your own hands.
I only lost 2 jets full of people.
I'm alright, you ready for a door?
But one of them was shot down. Not their fault. Shh.
Wait.
The other one. Yeah.
Listen.
I had to do like a 6-car run to get it left.
She sure sounded good.
Yeah.
Really good audio.
They're really getting over it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's Sherry George who's firing today.
Oh. Yeah, I know her.
And anyone who knows 611 knows who Sherry George is.
Yeah. I think she's been pretty much responsible for getting these trips going.
You gonna drink your orange juice? Or?
You can have it.
There's another one over here. So the ones for the person who didn't show up.
Sucks to be them. Because this was sold out. Because
Yeah.
a friend of mine said there weren't any seats in Stampede Pass today on the morning. There were none available.
Some of those coaches look like they've got plenty of open seats on the way.
That's what I was saying. Those
I don't think
the
this
coaches
trip,
didn't
this
sell.
whole trip was sold out.
Dome was desirable.
Yeah.
That's the thing now. With the way they configured the trip, like I will pay the extra money to sit in the dome every time with 611. The way that they have the coaches configured so that the domes are in the front. I will. Oh wait, like this is like
This is Steve Gray here.
steep enough.
One thing I think that's unfortunate about the domes is when I was reading about this too, the ocean view and this one, they described that one as great for looking out the sides,
And
this one good looking forward. And all the footage I've seen of this consist running was this car was ahead of it.
No, this car's always been behind it.
Not
I was
last year's
Maybe
run.
last year.
No,
Last
not
year.
last year, but this year, this car's
Oh yeah,
been behind
yeah,
it.
sure, this year, but last year, which is all the footage that was available when I was purchasing the ticket, it was in front, and so you sell this as the car with the great front view, but then now that one's in front.
That's what I'm gonna put in the comment forms that like should put the short domes forward of the big domes.
Yes.
But still, this is
And even if it didn't have to be, even if it needed to be behind it, if there was another car in between, it wouldn't be right on top of us. We would have better visibility. There was one or two cars in between. Because many years ago, I rode the train between Montreal and Halifax, and there were several domes in that, but each one was spaced by about.
Oh, that's a big picture.
Each one was spaced about by 3 coaches, and you had just great visibility.
That's an odd place for a traffic jam.
Shots go forward. I'm about out of juice.
rail fan problems.
Your phone? So it's like 3 phone chargers in it. It's just plug in. And then once you get plugged in, I'll turn it on. It senses current flow, so you have to plug first. one now, Tom?
We're working on our shopping project, and we're done.
I've got another 8 hours, 49 minutes of space on this card. I don't think I'm going to use it.
No, but you like this one, it like put his head like over his head. Somewhere down south. Because one day they go for a ride on the elephant, and this chick says just go on with the ride with the elephant. Well, because they need to just one day there's this dog just sitting there.
How fast are we going now?
Not very.
About 15.
He just saw the dog and he just jumped off the elephant and he just ran to the dog and he started like hugging each other. They like they're almost friends. They weren't. It was just. Yeah, the dog followed them. Have the dog.
Yeah.
The dog.
Sorry.
Well timed.
That's like the orangutan. Right now it's pretty young. It's like it's gonna be old as that one again. Or whatever. And also the orangutan are shipping these something. I don't know.
Starting to clear up though. Might even be sunny by the time we get into Manassas, like it was yesterday.
Perhaps the rain will come much later.
I hope it comes much later, much later, like after I land in Newark later. I don't care if it's raining while I'm waiting on the platform at the airport. I'm taking the train back in. I'm not dealing with shore traffic.
Look at this.
Look.
Oh, must have been a blowdown.
Yeah, I think we popped the safety valve there.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, the steam's coming from that side. I thought they probably blew a blowdown while they were. Yeah, that's the safety's going up. The steam was on that side.
She'll do a better job than I will. Take that arm down because that's
An orangutan like swinging on to an elephant.
He's got a job.
The funny part is when the orangutan goes around. Because it's as if he's petting him.
I don't know if it's just me, but I think she's wheel slipped a few times.
Oh, I felt it.
Yeah. All felt it.
Everything okay?
Still 15, so we're fine. We're maintaining speed.
Oh, now we're on.
Now we're on the grade.
Now we're on the grade. This might be the ruling grade. There you go. With that little thing at the end.
Good idea.
That's what we play when we get
Folks,
to
can
the
we
top.
get your attention for just a minute? Tom is coming up right now. We have a celebrity on board. The man who was the general foreman, is the general foreman of our mechanical operation. He restored the locomotive. He did the hands-on work of 611's restoration. He's also one of our active firemen right here. This is Tom Mayer, folks. Tom did a lot of work that I couldn't even believe. I couldn't get into some of the positions he got into, as he had to do that mechanical work and lead that mechanical work that is giving you this operating locomotive today. Tom is a celebrity in our world and really in the world of steam. He's a leader. Tom?
Does anybody have any questions about the engine, or? I would like to say thank you to everybody for coming out and supporting this, because without you people, this wouldn't be happening. So.
How tall are the project?
70
They are
inches.
70 inches? Okay,
Yeah.
we're looking at it.
Yeah, it was designed for 110 miles an hour. Of course, we don't do that now at 40, but
Yeah, it's an engineering marvel. I've worked on a lot of steam engines, and this is a Cadillac. They knew how to build them in Norfolk, Roanoke. But yeah, thank you guys. I mean, in Norfolk Southern, there's a lot of behind-scenes stuff that you don't see, that they've been very gracious with us. So hopefully we'll have another year next year. We don't know, but
we're not planning to not run.
Right.
Folks, it's okay to thank Norfolk Southern. I'm not telling you to do it, neither is Tom, but it's okay to thank Norfolk Southern. It is their railroad, and their greatest gift to us was not just the money that helped, but the ability to run. Because as we run today on a single track main, we are delaying freight trains. We are delaying revenue opportunities for them. They have hundreds of people who are working today, many on their day off, to make sure that you have a great and safe trip. Norfolk Southern is a fabulous partner.
And yesterday in the cab coming back, we actually had Wick Borman was with us, who was former CEO, and he was up there in the cab with us. So it was nice to have him back on. Without him, none of this ever would have happened. So
we are deeply indebted to those folks, but we are also deeply indebted to each of you, because if you weren't here today, 611 would have to actually borrow your credit card. She's not a cheap date. No. But we thank you because your support of being here today helps keep that locomotive running. We thank you very, very much.
Yeah,
Any other questions of Tom or me?
With the exception of like the scrapyards like those in Sterling and Galt that ran those Grand Trunk 080s for a number of years.
That and of course the Buffalo Creek.
Yeah. Which surprisingly one of them made its way back to West Virginia and is being fixed up.
The last one.
Yeah. I actually was down there in Cass a few days ago. I also went down there to see the shays run before we get ours ready. And I see the photos of when they used to have those 4-truck shays, those bigger, more powerful engines.
They've got the Western Maryland shay though.
Yeah, but that one wasn't running that day. But I think it's just kind of, they kind of just like store it until like they run on the special events and that.
Yeah, that thing is huge. I think it's the biggest shay ever built.
Oh, it's the last shay ever built, according to what I understand. But you know what I would like to see happen if someone actually was ambitious? If they found a 3-truck shay that no one had touched for years, that maybe it's like one of those engines that's like stuck in the north, like in the Washington State or something like that, like where they were restoring that Northern Pacific 924. Take one of those and convert it to a 4-truck shay. That way you kind of fill the gap of shays that never survived. Just think about it. We all have the 2 trucks and the 3-truck shays that are preserved, but not a single 4-truck shay. I mean, there might be someone who would contradict, like, oh, no, you're just changing to a different locomotive. Like, well, they do it in Britain already. They're doing it with Great Western engines, turning them into different classes altogether, because instead of building brand new ones, you might as well just take the ones you got already in preservation, just rebuild them into the older classes. Wouldn't be the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I think
or sometimes they just rename it into a different class, like Alton Hall.
Yeah. I think it would
the hall that thinks it's a castle, as they call it.
I think it would actually be interesting to just see that happen. I wouldn't mind if I was the one to start that, but knowing how it takes to build steam engines and working on the ship personally, it would certainly be quite the task. And I'd have to have the interest to back it up.
Oh
no, when we're there, we'll see that old station.
And all the people around it.
Yes. Foaming at the mouth for a good shot. Ooh, that's quite a pull.
I wonder if they have dessert.
That actually would be good.
I'm not supposed to say this, but I secretly saw some downstairs earlier.
What did you say?
Some like cookies and stuff.
Oh, that's next, I hope.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
All of them.
They must have cleaned the window.
They just sort of cleared themselves off.
I don't see no cinders now.
Yeah, they dried up and blew off.
I'm seeing a bunch of them piled up down at the bottom here.
Yeah.
They're in between the ribs there.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's a big pile of them.
Mom, you should see this.
Just don't
Sure. Now I know you guys wanted to send them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what we like.
Tell the chocolate. You do not need all the chocolate.
Do I have one? You go first.
Thank you.
Look at this.
I saw you
And then they walk along here. Fire cream out.
We cannot have one.
I gotta get you a plate. We don't have any more of the cinnamon roll. What is what? The swamp.
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's party time. Because I got it.
No defect. That's what we like to hear.
Surprise!
Meanwhile, when I was on 4449, behind 4449, we tripped every defect detector from Minneapolis to Chicago.
So it's the one book I actually had as a source.
Well, I knew she.
Axle 8 total axle failure. Every defect detector.
Well, I remember when I saw her pass through the outskirts of Rochelle, and she pretty much threw it through like a boy.
Pocahontas.
It's really neat.
Holy moly. That's right. I went there.
Oh, I just got it. Darn it.
Get out. Get out now.
Huh. I didn't know they had their own diesel switchers.
I didn't see him. What type?
They looked like old SW1500s or NW2s and people on the flippin' main line.
Where? Right here? No, there's a road.
No, right there.
Oh.
Oh no, get off.
Off the off the car too, for goodness sake. This is what irritates me about what gives us rail fans a bad name. They think we can just go and
Yeah, that'll be on YouTube.
and I thought the Flying Scotsman had problems. Fudge monkeys.
This is why we can't have nice things. We're probably breaking because of that.
Exactly.
Think they're radioing the railroad cops.
I'm sure.
Come and get those guys.
I'm sure. But I'm sure they're already on their way out.
Now there's going to be some huge controversy about it.
Grant on one side.
Is back.
Yeah, they're trying to bring the ski train back.
They've been trying to bring it back ever since it's been gone, though.
I'm not seeing an
This
Amtrak
time
train
this
yet.
year, this next year. Opening.
They're gonna run. They ran it a test train with Amtrak.
Well, it was
And
the
it was-
contracts. Was the it was
Well, the problem was they couldn't get their UP was not being helpful in the fact that they did not want to put their train up. Even though the Moffat subdivision is down to maybe 5 trains a day.
Yeah, that is why the ski train's now going to be able to do it.
They've lost a lot of the coal traffic.
A lot of the coal.
There's talk that there are people who are worried that the Moffat might get
Abandoned.
pulled out of service.
I might take over it.
Hope worst. I think that worst case
Utah
scenario-
Railway, if anything.
Best
I know
case.
Wacko recently released the NS secondary. They recently mothballed.
Best case scenario is it.
But the thing is, they really do need to keep that line open, because if anything were to happen on the overland route, that is their diversion, is Moffat.
As well as it might. This is hopefully this won't happen. It might suffer the same fate as Raton Pass, where it's only a passenger train.
Well, Raton Pass is owned by the state of New Mexico now, and they're still able to. But
No, I thought they gave it back.
to BN.
Yeah. The Governor Bill that cut all the deals to do Rail Runner was a little overzealous in his purchasing, and Governor Susanna has given back rather than pay for it. So they kept the piece that they run the Rail Runner on, but they gave back Raton.
But I think Amtrak pays to maintain Raton right now.
They do, and they're working heavily with the states, and Colorado and Kansas have both put in a lot of money to keep Raton Pass open, but New Mexico is not funding anything. New Mexico is not stepping up on this one.
So they might end up having to reroute the train. But
Yeah, I didn't get it. Oh, here we go.
Stay on course, folks. My father will see them there, but they made it through the right hand.
just taking video of people on the right of way.
It would not have put any pressure on you either way.
Don't. Well, I guess they're off the right of way. Just off the right of way. They're off the right of way too, I guess. They're not.
And then in the morning, basically, you're arriving at Denver. Oh yeah, we didn't take the train for these. Sure, we're gonna have it.
See, there's people too close to the tracks.
There's a kid too close to the tracks over here with his dad. Oh, yeah, that is not just a little too close. That's way too close.
How close is he?
It was almost touching.
Yeah.
Well, those are NS employees, so they look like they're going up to talk to him.
Excuse me, gentlemen. We need you to get off our grade.
Hey, you kids, get off my right of way.
Shake this stat.
Well,
It's huge. You ever go down to Palm Beach? Take the tour down the North Coast.
and that's it.
Southern Pacific. We'll get the police train out here.